So, you think you know all about engine oil, right? Well, what if I told you that the advice you've been following for years, the stuff your dad taught you, might not just be outdated, but could actually be a ticking time bomb for your modern car's engine? We're going to break down exactly why the old rules just don't apply anymore, and what you really need to know to protect your ride. Let's dive in.
Let's just start with the big one, the question that gets right to the heart of it. Is the oil you're putting in your car silently doing damage? For literally millions of drivers out there, the answer is, kind of shockingly, yes. And it's all because engine technology has taken this massive leap forward, while a lot of us are still stuck on old maintenance habits.
So why the sudden, drastic change in something as basic as motor oil? Well, it all starts with the engine itself. See, in the big push for better fuel economy, car makers created a whole new kind of engine. And yeah, they're smaller and way more efficient, but they also brought a brand new, and honestly, a potentially catastrophic problem to the table.
Okay, let's meet the star of the show, the TGDI engine. That stands for Turbocharged Gasoline Direct Injection. This is the magic that lets a little four-cylinder engine feel as peppy as a big old V6, all while sipping gas. They are absolute marvels of engineering for sure. But here's the catch. They run under incredible stress, high pressure, and intense heat.
And all that stress, well, it created a villain for our story. It's called LSPI, or low-speed pre-ignition. This is a really nasty thing that can happen where tiny droplets of fuel and oil in the cylinder just explode before the spark plug is supposed to fire. Think of it this way. Your engine is designed for a smooth, controlled push on the piston. LSPI is like someone hitting it with a sledgehammer at the exact wrong moment. It can literally crack pistons. We're talking catastrophic, engine-destroying failure.
So with engines facing this brand new, very serious threat, the oil industry had to scramble. They couldn't just keep making oil, slippery. They had to completely re-engineer it from the molecules up to act like a bodyguard, a shield against this LSPI problem. This is where the oil starts to fight back.
And you can see just how fast this all happened right here on this timeline. Back in 2010, API-SN was the standard, and it was fine for the cars at the time. But by 2018, LSPI was becoming such a huge problem that they had to rush out a temporary fix, SN+. Then, just 2 years after that, bam, we get the new gold standard, API-SP, a total overhaul designed specifically for these new engines.
Just look at this chart. It tells the whole story. See the jump from the old SN standard to the new SP? Under LSPI protection, the old stuff had nothing. It wasn't even a thing they tested for. And check out this other new category, enhanced timing chain wear. That's another major weak point in these modern engines that API-SP was specifically built to defend against. So here's what you got to understand. API-SP isn't just a little update. It's a completely different recipe. It has special additives that literally stop the chemical reaction that causes LSPI before it can even start. It has better anti-wear stuff to keep your timing chain from stretching, a repair that, by the way, can easily cost you thousands of dollars. And it does a much better job of keeping your turbocharger and pistons clean. It's a whole new ballgame.
Okay, so we get it. We need this new oil. But when you're standing in the aisle at the auto parts store and you're just staring at a wall of bottles, how in the world do you actually find the right one? Let's break down the new labels you need to be looking for.
All right, this part is super important, so listen up. You're going to see two new ILSA standards, GF6A and GF6B. Now, GF6A is for all the common oil weights you know, like 5W30. The key here is that it's backward compatible, meaning it's perfectly safe to use in older cars that called for the old stuff. But GF6B, that is only for the new super thin 0W16 oils. And I cannot stress this enough, it is not backward compatible. Putting this in a car that isn't built for it is a really, really bad idea.
Now for the symbols you'll see on the bottle itself. First up is the one you've probably seen a million times, the API donut. It's simple. Just look at the top half of the circle. If it says API Service SP, you're golden. That's your proof that it has all that top-tier protection we've been talking about. And yeah, it's still totally safe for older cars.
Next up, you'll see this, the ILSAC Starburst. When you see this symbol, it's certifying that the oil meets that GF6A standard. This is your guarantee of fuel economy benefits. It's part of what they call resource-conserving oil. And again, crucially, it tells you that it's backward compatible. For most people driving most cars, this is the symbol you want to see. It's the seal of approval.
But this is the new one, the ILSAC Shield. I want you to think of this symbol as a stop sign. It is exclusively for oils that meet that GF6B spec, like that 0W16 oil we talked about. It is not backward compatible. If your owner's manual doesn't specifically by name call for a 0W16 oil, do not buy a bottle with this shield on it. Simple as that.
So now that we know what to look for, let's have a little fun and bust some myths. There is so much old school advice about oil floating around that is at best a complete waste of your money and at worst just plain wrong for modern cars. All right, let's tackle the biggest one of all, the one that's been drilled into our heads for decades, mostly by those quick glue places with the big signs. The 3,000-mile oil change. Is it still a thing? Do you have to do it? No, not even close. It is probably one of the most persistent and expensive myths in the entire automotive world.
The science on this is crystal clear. Today's synthetic oils, especially the ones meeting that API-SP spec, are engineered to last a whole lot longer. Your car's manufacturer, the people who actually built it, they probably recommend an oil change interval of 7,500 miles, 10,000 miles, sometimes even more. Sticking to that 3,000-mile rule is literally just pouring perfectly good oil and your hard-earned money straight down the drain. The number one rule is follow your manual, not the myth.
Okay, myth number 2. You pull out the dipstick to check your oil, and it's not that beautiful, clean, honey gold color it was when it was new. It's gotten dark, maybe even close to black. That means it's all sludged up and totally worn out, right?
Nope, wrong again. In fact, seeing your oil turn dark is actually a really good sign. It means the oil is doing its job perfectly.
And here's why. Modern oils are packed with powerful detergent additives. I want you to think of them like millions of tiny little janitors constantly scrubbing the inside of your engine. They grab all the microscopic bits of soot and grime and hold onto them in suspension so they can't stick together and form nasty sludge. So the oil turns dark because it's full of all the gunk it has cleaned out of your engine. Dark oil isn't dirty oil, it's working oil.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've talked about the problem, the high-tech solution, how to read the labels, and we've busted some myths. So now let's put it all together into a simple, practical guide so you know exactly what to grab the next time you're due for an oil change.
Here it is, your quick and easy cheat sheet. If you've got a modern car, especially one with a turbo or a GDI engine, you need to be looking for oil that says API-SP and has that ILSAC GF6A starburst. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, if you have an older, non-turbo car, you can still get big benefits from API-SP oil because remember, it's fully backward compatible and just plain better. But no matter what car you drive, the absolute number one golden rule is always this: check your owner's manual. It is the final authority on what your specific engine was designed to use. And that's really the whole story on the new world of engine oil. Look, your car's engine is a precision machine that costs thousands upon thousands of dollars to replace. The right oil might cost you $5 more a bottle than the wrong one, but that small difference could save you from a 4-figure repair bill down the road. So the next time you pop the hood or head to the store, take a look at the bottle and ask yourself, are you giving your engine the protection it was literally engineered to have? Thanks for checking out this explainer.